Finland, the spiritual home of rallying and the location for round 9. Rallying's in the blood here. These fast forest roads have produced more world champions than any other country. This is the land of maximum attack. Once known as the Thousand Lakes Rally, the route weaves through Finland's Lake District around Jyväskylä. Tommy Mäkinen lives a few kilometres across the lake, but local knowledge didn't help on stage 1. Less than 2 minutes into the rally, car number 7 was out. The suspension broken on the Mitsubishi. Next into the stage, Colin McRae, and not even McRae believed that the 5-time winner would make such an elementary mistake so early on in his home rally.
6 left opens, and 6 left, and crest into left tightens to 3+, don't cut.
With Mäkinen out, all local eyes were on another Finn to take the lead. That honour went to Harry Rovanperä in the Peugeot. With one less Finn to worry about, Richard Burns knew that this could be his best chance to become the first non-Scandinavian in almost a decade to win in Finland. Marcus Grönholm edged ahead of Rovanperä by 3 seconds in a return to the form worthy of a world champion. 4-time world champion Juha Kankkunen was back in world rallying behind the wheel of a Hyundai. Leaping high, Marco Martin was up to 4th overall. Almost a week without a good night's sleep, Richard Burns dug deep into his natural talent to become the fastest foreigner in Finland. Grönholm had said all afternoon that ideally he didn't want to be leading at the end of the first day, so deliberately or not, he lost first place.
You rather conveniently lost a bit of time yesterday.
I don't think it will help so much, but a small maybe advantage to go after Richard, yes.
Was that tactics or genuine problems?
It was both. I had a puncture, but also I was slowing down a bit.
Nice to have the feeling that he needs to do that to try to beat me, which is it's good when it's his home rally.
Day 2, and the leader, Richard Burns, was at 2 disadvantages. Many of the day's stages were new to him, and he was also running first on the road. But at the split times, he was looking good. Marcus Grönholm wanted dry, not dewy conditions for his planned assault on the lead. Weaving between the houses, his Peugeot was more cruise missile than rally car.
8, oikein jouhea. 7, vaan se pitkä eri kirraa lopussa.
For years, Estonia was seen as the enemy in Finland. In rallying, they still are, but whilst Marco Martin was 3rd, his army were friendly. It wasn't all good news at Peugeot. On stage 13, Didier Auriol's suspension broke, with dramatic results. On stage 14, Jani Passanen crunched the front of his Focus. Big time. With Auriol gone, McRae was up to 5th, but 2nd place on stage 13 and a win on stage 14 showed that McRae didn't just want places by default. The Scot too was now flying. More convertible than rally car, Passanen's Focus. With the sun now out, Burns' worry was not keeping up with Grönholm, but fighting off Rovanperä. Next through, the leader, Marcus Grönholm. Ski jumping is Finland's other passion, not that there's much to tell between the sports sometimes. Winning stage 16 moved Harry Rovanperä ahead of Richard Burns and back into 2nd place. Kankkunen eventually stopped with transmission problems at the end of day 2 after an impressive return to world rallying. Day 3, and at the early morning service, Peugeot announced that their drivers would hold station. Rovanperä started the longest stage of the rally like a tightrope walker. He had to toe the fine line between not threatening Grönholm and not being threatened by Burns. But 5 kilometres into the stage, fate was taken out of his hands. He had a puncture in his front left tyre and it cost him dearly. Behind, Richard Burns had no idea. He pressed on regardless to the fastest time by a full 5 seconds, enough to put him just 6 seconds off Rovanperä. But all eyes were now on McRae. Could he keep close enough to Burns to keep his hopes of third and maybe even second place alive?
Left, 30, 5 left plus open to the crest, 30, 6 right and 6 left over bump.
Marcus Grönholm needed to pick up the pace to protect his lead. With Rovanperä under attack, Grönholm could no longer count on protection. Rovanperä too was at maximum attack now, but then he lost 21 seconds in 25 kilometres with a broken shock absorber. Burns was fast too, but he'd hit a rock at the start of the second to last stage, but second place was now his. Closing back to within 7 seconds of Burns at the finish was McRae. On the last stage of the rally, Tony Gardemeister was trying to make up some of the time he lost on days 1 and 2, when this happened. A violent and messy end to his rally, but thankfully no injuries. Grönholm's line through the last stage was conservative, not flamboyant. The trick to just keep the car clear of rocks and the trees. The reward, his first victory in 10 months and as world champion.
Was it a tough rally to win?
Yeah, it was not so easy, but okay, we had always a small gap, but Harry was catching us yesterday a bit all the time, but today it was I was quite confident to keep the pace.
Cruel luck then for Rovanperä, but finally a win for the world champion. Despite his crash, Mäkinen held on to his lead in the championship. 10 points finally put Grönholm on the first page of the leaderboard.